The Scale Podcast, episode 6. Let's get it.
What up? What up?
What's happening, brother?
Not much, bruh. You good?
Episode 5 is tearing up the streets, man. I'm chilling. Hey, people are like coming through. Yo, you should see the essays people write in the comments, bro. Yo.
Nah, no, it's necessary. Sometimes.
Shout out to Coke, please.
Oh. On this side, I was wondering whether you had access to the goods, to essential goods.
No. I have access, but just not the funds. You know, life is tough.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I know the president caught us off guard there, bro.
You must buy for the scale. You're an essential worker, Mus. You're so nice. You must buy for the podcast.
Sponsorship. When we get a spot, we'll get a spot. And when we have shows there, we'll get sponsors, bro. People will be making biryani for us.
We need to get Nota in, bro. Not biryani. We need to get Nota on the show, bro. I think the rate at which he's just chowing the whole game, we need to get him in. We need to get him in.
It's the necessary chowing though. It's the necessary one, not the unnecessary kind.
My bro, okay, let me read you some tweets. Yo, this guy. Like every day, he just gives us content. You know, I love Nota, man. Nota gives us amazing content. This morning, he was going on about Master KG and Black Coffee because so this is what I want to speak about. Like, do international artists who have made it owe it to the rest of the SA game to promote them / help them out? How do you feel about that?
Okay, so now there's context. It came from this guy. We must get him in. Look, I was thinking about that. I was thinking about the message that you sent. And in my opinion, I would say no. Does the South African, if I can understand you correctly, us as South African music consumers, you're saying? Do we owe
No. Okay, let me just use the people who are in the situation. So, Black Coffee was in Switzerland or wherever it was. I think it was Switzerland, yeah. And then now, since Master KG's song is blowing up and like everyone in the game is showing love, someone in Switzerland requested that Coffee play the song, play the Jerusalem song.
Yeah.
And then like the guy he wrote Jerusalem on his phone and then he showed it to the screen like this, right? And then Coffee took a picture of that and posted on Twitter. And then the one I want to focus on, because Nota said a lot of things about that snap, but what I want to focus on is, can does Black Coffee owe it to us to play South African music? Like, does he have to?
No, but he should.
Why? That's what I want to talk about.
He should.
Why?
He doesn't have to, but he should. It would seem it's like it's on a smaller scale. If we can take it on a smaller scale,
yeah, we
can make it local. We can say the same thing locally as well. I grew up in the Eastern Cape. That's me. That's how I grew up. My friends are all from there. They might not be there, but they're from there. Now I'm here in Joburg, and now people in the Eastern Cape will have said on more than one occasion, "Okay, but who are you repping? Where are you from? What are you of?" I don't feel that I owe it to them. There's nothing there that I have to give back, but it would be nice. It would be dope if I said something every now and again. On that scale, it's a lot bigger because now we're talking international. He's out there wherever he is. And he that's what I'm saying. He really doesn't have to, because he's at a stage now where he's gone way beyond just the South African market. And we know that our guys here, for some reason, there's a certain group of genres that work in South Africa and the rest just don't. R&B is one of them. It's just there's certain genres that just don't do well this side. Therefore, they have to go and ply their trade elsewhere. And already in doing that, they've already done they've already shown a little bit of a middle finger to the country to say, you know what, you are not going to,
But bro, my whole thing is, okay, he deleted the tweets now. I was looking for them. He deleted the tweets. He said, I was trolling. How hypocritical of me. I'm sorry. Anyway. So my thing is, I know you don't mess with black coffee, bro. So I think don't touch that guy. I think in SA, I'm on the fence on this one, because as much as I understand the context or why he would say he should play local music, I also understand why he should not. Because if I was not seeing love here, or like you're saying, I was in one of those genres that are outliers within our mainstream game, and then I make a way for myself, you understand, to bars and hit the right markets overseas, why should I play music? You're not with me, bro. Like, why? You understand? Like, why should I now, because I'm at that level and just because we share country of origin, have to be forced to recognize you guys and post you guys? I think him just going and posting that snap and acknowledging the fact that, you're hitting these parts of the world is enough. Why should I now be forced to play your music just because I'm from South Africa?
Yeah. You don't think like I said, he doesn't have to, but it's nice. It would be nice if he did. But he doesn't. He really doesn't owe it to anybody. He doesn't owe it to us. We've had so many cases of people who have gone out, done their thing. They've been out there. They create their own buzz. They do what they do, and they don't come back. Right? There's people. They don't even associate themselves. You'll hear in an interview randomly that they associate themselves with South Africa. Do you know? Man's Not Hot. Michael Dapa.
Yeah.
You know he's from Tata.
He's from where?
Tata. In the Eastern Cape, my friend, bruh. I like when I heard that in the interview, it was him. It's not even, this is not hearsay. There was an interview.
He said it.
There was an interview. There's a South African, I forgot who it was. It was a lady. Walked up, Michael, it's nice to see you. It's like, oh no, I've been to South Africa. I was born there. And then he said that no, his parents are still there. His father's a doctor. I think they moved there from somewhere, but he is South African. So, and that surname sounds quite African. So I'm sure they probably moved from just like how my situation is. My parents moved from another African country here to South Africa. Lay low for a while. It was around about that time. Apartheid was fizzling out. Yeah. Then we came out. We are that generation that now came out, and now we are doing our thing. So he said that in an interview, and I was like, he does not owe it to us to say at every single point, I'm from South Africa, just like Charlize as well, Trevor, all of these guys, they don't really have to push it, but when they do, it's nice. So I'm saying the same with Black Coffee. He doesn't have to and is beyond that point, but it would be nice for our industry and the growth of our industry. We have a lot more to gain than he does. Let me put it like that.
You're taking us into a part that I wanted to go when you mentioned Charlize. It's like, do we still claim artists that have made it that side? Or do we let them transition into the next phase of their career? Loosely put, of course. Because we can't touch Trevor now, bro. We can't touch Charlize now. It's just
Elon Musk is another one.
I mean, we can't touch Elon now, you know. So do artists that make it internationally, do we still consider them part of the SA game? If they don't associate with it, then no, we can't. We can't bring them into that conversation, especially because they're not trying to be in that conversation themselves. Like, you can start bringing in, you can talk about your own charts and whatever it is, and then you can bring in the antwoord, and then you that piece doesn't fit in the puzzle because they've made sure that it doesn't fit in the puzzle. They don't want to be a part of that question.
So I don't think we can. I think all we can do right now is just associate with the ones who want to be involved. And then there's an even bigger question in, is there a South African, okay, there is a South African market, but with regards to being accepted, we have a global market. A black coffee has now transcended just being in the South African pool or the continental pool. Now they're in an international pool.
Space.
International space. And that's where they're considered. So I'd say they're in, we let them go, and they fly the flag when they want to, as and how they see fit. And yeah, Doja Cat is another one.
My problem is now, we can't, if you're going to now, like you're saying, accept or sort of just distance yourself or be a part of the international space.
Mm-hmm.
Don't use SA as and when you want to. Like, don't let it be a, I'm here, I'm not here, I'm here. Like, where are you at? Like you're saying, like your Elon's not gonna come back here and make a noise about chilling incentive. He's beyond that, bro. He's launching rockets.
Literally.
Now he's literally launching rockets. So now for people to leverage SA just for that, South Africa, because Africa is the new thing now. Like Africa is the buzzword internationally. So an example of this would be Nasty C saying Zulu men with some power, and then the whole rollout of the album is Zulu, because then now they also put out sweaters of Pedi, Tswana, whatever, all the like indigenous tribes, right? But his marketing or his action plan is straight international. Like that, there's no two ways about it.
Yes,
right.
We all know.
So
that.
Now, when people's marketing strategies are focused on the world, don't not use SA just to stand out, for lack of a better word. You know what I mean? Don't just use SA just for a marketing tool. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if you're gonna rock Japan, LA, whatever, why are you including SA? If you're in the international space.
But then who catches feelings there? The only people who catch feelings is us. The SA market.
Yeah.
Other people don't catch feelings, because if someone's in the States and they're seeing SCC and they see Zulu man with some power, they're like, oh, okay, snap. We understand a bit of his heritage. And then he can tap into that because he knows enough about it to be able to tap into that. This is before all this social media stuff got big. That's what black people in America were doing to us. They're saying, oh no, my people in Africa. They had no idea. They're busy using it in their conversations. They had no idea, but they were using it to further their story. And I see now there's a bit of a divide now between us, the actual Africans in Africa, them who, after all these years, they've been putting us in their movies, they've been clicking their tongues and using random names to describe us. We're the ones who catch feelings, because we're like, no, man, but don't do that to us. There's a lot more to us than just that. Whereas on that side, yes. Whereas on that side, they're using it to push their agenda even further. So I agree with you, but how do we stop that? How are we to even begin to police when, no, you must not don't appropriate our situation. If you're not going to be in it, I don't know, do you want them to either be all in? And does all in mean that they can't make international marketing? I'm just thinking of Nasty C as an example now.
Yeah.
How do we rectify it so that the majority of us feel, okay, sharp, he is utilizing his culture. Let me call it his culture. Appropriately.
Yeah. Appropriately. If you're going to now use SA, for lack of a better word, not use, but like incorporate or base your whole strategy on SA and using it to stand out, participate in the industry, bro. Like, participate in the game, and don't let it be just something where you are it's just a tag like Africa, like go hashtag I'm from Africa, but you're not even in Africa. You know what I mean? Like you're not even actively contributing and growing the game in Africa. So if you're going to, someone like Coffee is justified, I believe, because he is putting his money or some of his money back into SA. I mean, buying up a stake in Gallo, signing a local artist and doing all of that. But someone like Charlize or Elon, it's a fun fact. It's not like something they can run with and say, yo, Africa. They don't do that already. You know what I mean? So if you're going to now jump in and be on some Petty man with some power, Tonga man with some, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Be here, you know what I mean?
So would you say that he's not actively in our industry?
Who, Nasty or Coffee?
Nasty.
It's not the focus.
So now that's what I'm saying. Yeah. Okay.
It's like sorry to cut you off. It's like the label will make sure that he's playlisted, but we are not the focus anymore, bro. Like he lives here. He lives here. I'm not saying he's disregarding us entirely, but we are clearly not the focus.
And is that a bad thing?
If things are open, he would not be here. No, depends on
what now he's developed. That's why I feel like he's now moved into the next space where it's now no longer about rep your hood. Now it's about just build the biggest damn empire you can.
Yeah, you can. You see, that's what I'm saying. I'm like on the fence about it because him pushing with the Zulu thing, is great for his team and himself, you know. But at the same time, it feels, I don't know, man. It's like, okay, let me give you a scenario. You know when you are, if we're in a group and you run the fastest and we're like, okay, guys, what are we doing? And you say running, it suits you. Do you understand what I mean? So he's playing towards his advantage. Like, what's your X factor? There are 4 billion rappers in America. But what's your X factor? Africa. What's the buzzword right now? Africa. So it's like secret weapon vibes. It's a cheat code of some sort because there's no way it'll go wrong. Do you understand? Especially with the power of like a Def Jam pushing an African rapper from Africa. Wow. You guys have rappers there? So obviously it's gonna stick out. It's really gonna stick out. But it's like,
is he really participating in our industry? Do we accept him in our industry?
I think he's a special case. He's an outlier because he's not like Coffee who blew up here then went out. Nasty had a bit of, he had a tricky run because of the label situations and Mabala, then Universal, now Def Jam. It's like that little hurdle he had. We all wanted to see him bounce back, like we all want to see him bounce back. He didn't fall or anything, but we all just wanted to see him at the best possible place for his career. And now that he's there, people are willing to support more than ever, So that's going to allow him to push further.
No, I agree. It is tricky, dude. It really is. So, would you, because now I'm also thinking about what I said now, where he should, but he doesn't have to. So I'm thinking in the case of Nasty C, he can rap in Isizu. We know he can. But does he? So that's another situation that I'm saying. He doesn't have to, but if he did, it would be nice. I don't know. I don't hear him. I do not foresee a Nasty C rapping in that language song. I don't foresee that for me. I don't see that as part of the marketing plan because it's just been straight up English the entire time. But as a bring in Africa thing, very easily you can bring in the vernacular and all of a sudden, boom, now we understand. Now some of the picture starts to fit, but he doesn't have to do it.
doesn't it sort of how do I say, exclude certain regions? But at the same time, you could argue that it would add X factor because, I mean, back to Master KG, who's rocking the whole world, they can't hear what he's saying. It's just a more melody thing. No. Oh, that sounds cool. We don't know what you're saying, but like we really vibe with the melody. So for him, I think just even the sound he's on, I don't think, not that it wouldn't fit, but it's not what he's built. You know what I mean?
I get you.
His breakout song wasn't in Vernac. Some of his biggest songs weren't in Vernac. So for him now, it's going to be like, oh, you can do that too. It's like, oh, that's cool. But it's not something he's known for, you know?
Yes. So it won't be, I'm not saying it's not going to be his flagship sound now, him rapping in that language, rapping in Zulu. It's going to be, it'll be a song or two every now and again. There's a song where I heard from Kendrick, and it was a Kendrick verse, but he raps the whole verse in Spanish. I don't know if you've heard it. It's fairly old. It's fairly old. It's a fairly an old song.
Okay. I see you now.
And I was like, what the hell is this? So just a song, just to keep those people sated, just to keep them happy.
Yeah.
Then we're all like, oh, now the people who would have caught feelings, us, the South Africans, are like,
now turning back.
We're like, but don't worry, he has those two songs there. And let us latch onto those ones for the next 50 years.
So we're represented, yes.
Then I think the story becomes a bit better. I don't know what sort of background Kendrick has that he got to a point where he did an entire verse in Spanish. But he had that entire appeal. Much like... Was it that did an entire verse? Was it Drake who did an entire verse in Arabic? Someone did an entire verse in Arabic.
Oh yeah, I saw a clip of that. I think it was Drake, but he did like a couple of lines. I don't think he did the whole thing.
The whole thing, okay, yeah. But in a situation like that, where you've got, but then there is another song that he did with that bunny guy, where he is, where it is in Spanish. So you see, you capture a bit of a market, and then that becomes the song that the market knows. Where everyone within that, as much as Drake's sound or Nasty C's sound continues to develop 2025, 2030. The sound continues to develop, but there's that one track or those two songs that he did in 2020 and 2023 that were in Zulu, and we hang on to those ones as, you know, that type of thing. But I don't see anything like that coming from him.
Now that you've said that, we can now go back to the original, like the starting point of this chat. If Coffee was to play Jerusalem, or he did in that snap, we would now have something to latch on. I think it's also us wanting to be like a part of things, you know. That's why we would tend to feel somehow if someone would use Zulu Man Some Power and not actually rap in Zulu. You know what I mean? It would just be like, oh mate, you're just using the hashtag now, the tagline. I mean, it is your culture and your history, yes, but now you're just using it to, you know, get on and stick out. But yeah. So if he was to actually rap in Zulu, or Coffee was to actually play the Jerusalem song, it would be more celebrated, you know what I mean? Because we feel now included now. Oh wow, he's really now like showing love. You know what I mean? Because people like negative things, that's one. So like I won't even say people are mad, but I think it's just curiosity with ulterior motives, really, you know what I mean? Yeah. So it's like, it was interesting for me to see. Like, that's why I was like, yo man, can we talk about this? Do artists who are blowing up internationally still belong or still consider themselves part of the SA game?
I mean, I suppose it is their choice. There are a few people who have gone out and come back. Well, there's only one I can think of right now, obvious. Stogie T, but you see, when he went out as something, he came back. Sure, there was still essence of that, but he kind of had to rebrand, do a couple of tweaks and changes here and there. And now it's like he never even left, or that person that left is a very different person. But he's very much within our industry, and he wants to play a particular role. And I'm very happy about that. That even though he's gotten the international accolades, the successes, and everything that side, that he's understood now that, for all we know, it was because of a failure that side that he decided to scale back.
To come back.
Yes. And that might have been the only reason. Because for me, what I saw was a person that said, F you. And it was like, I'm out. And I'm there now. Yeah. So I see he came back, he's flipped it. If that was the case, he's flipped it very nicely. If it wasn't, and he actually wanted to, kudos to him, because that's a bold move. But it's paid off for him, I feel, because it's carved out a very much, it's a needed role that he's carved out there. Yeah. So
the OG.
Yeah,
he's our certified OG.
Yeah, and we need that. And there's a lot of people who could have done that. He just saw the gap and was like, hey, I can do that thing. He did it, did a bit of rebranding, continues to release music, does his thing, and dope. And we're okay with him.
But we need to also address, I think there's also something we need to talk about in like the next coming episodes. The role of OGs. Like, what do you do when you've passed your peak? You've gone through the handling artists and pushing artists into the game, label owner, and you're there, let's say 40 years, 50 years plus. You know what I mean? What is your role as an OG? Yeah.
Sure.
For someone like a Mosquito, what is your role? Like, do you still participate?
Yeah.
Or do you leave it alone? Or what constitutes you being an OG?
That's actually That's a great question. That's a dope question. Also, where's that line drawn?
Where's that line drawn?
Yeah, where are we in that cycle? Because now, if you look at the type of content we're doing now, you're gonna see now in the next 2-3 years, you're gonna be OG. And it happens, and you know why. They're gonna be like, what man? People are gonna start walking. Yeah. Walk up to you, but you're like, how? But we're like,
what's going on?
We're like the same, almost the same age. Like, what are you saying? Man, I look up to you, man. You know, you're dropping gems, and, and you're in your 20s, and you're like, okay, sharp. But at the same time, you've got
from experience, Alice Beats.
No, I am. From the age of like 25. I remember 25 was the first time I got uncle. I was like, uncle. Dude, I'm sure you're not that much younger than I am, but even still. Yeah. But now I'm looking at the people who are reaching 40 and people who are in there let's say people who are reaching 40. And it's a tricky space. I'm in my 30s now, literally just started the 30s. And I'm looking in the next 8 years and I'm seeing these guys and they are OGs. We'd consider them OGs, but you can see that they're trying to shake that thing. They're like, I've still got years. They're pulling a Cristiano. They're like, I'm here. I'm old. I'm older, but I've still got it. I can still bang goals away, and they can. And so that's where the debate now comes into that.
It's effective, bro.
Is it? Is it that?
It's not as effective.
Is it that? Because they are. If you look at some of these other guys in other countries, maybe our industry is not big enough, but there's guys who are in that age gap and they're just getting started.
It's because they started late, I think. Or like they were very calculated with how they drop, you know what I mean? Someone like Java is a good example. He came in late-ish, like into the music.
Late?
I mean, I know he's been into 35-ish, 34-ish.
Okay, that's when he started.
That he broke out as an artist, because I mean he was acting for a bit and stuff like that. So when you break out and like pop into the game at that age, obviously you've still got mileage. I think the game has a good 5-10 years from when you pop in. You know what I mean? And also how he's dropping and what he's talking about is an exception, because I mean he's not very lean, Ciroc, no. Very calm, very open genre, open subject topics that he goes on about. So his music allows different ages to engage with him, which is also very important, because if you're only hitting the kids, those kids grow up. And then now you don't relate to the newer guys. Because I mean now most of our industry is old. Like the mainstream guys are old. They're clocking 35, 34, you understand?
Bro, 34 is old. Yo, what are you saying?
Dog, the people who are consuming music now are 19, 20. Wait, not as Silas. At 30, however old you are.
30. didn't.
A 30-year-old.
Yeah.
A 30-year-old. What do you have to say to a 19-year-old, bro?
But why am I appealing to this? This is what I'm saying, dude. That when you grow up with your fans. When Justin Bieber was young, we watched Justin grow up. When Justin was baby, his people were his age. They were young. Yeah. And as he's grown up, he went through his drug situation, all of these breakups and all of that stuff. His people also, they went to college, they started doing things. Now the people were consuming Justin. This is an older Justin, the person that just released this track with Ariana. It's an older person. They sound more mature. The fans as well, they've also grown up. And as those fans push into their 30s, should Justin be able to, if you take the other Justin, for example, exactly. Look at Timberlake as well. From the beginning, when he was just popping and locking and dancing, and he pushed forward, and then he continued to build to your 2020s and that type of thing. As he moved on, his listeners moved from NSYNC days where they saw the colorful hair and the dance moves to right through to where he is, and then eventually, he slowed down and he dropped off. So I don't feel like, unless it's for me specifically, if my target market is newcomers, because what I'm doing now is I'm trying to appeal to the newcomer with the information, getting your stuff right, trying to do that. My music doesn't appeal to the newcomer unless I try very hard. But I'm not going for the 19. That's not my primary market. So I don't believe that it's actually a good point. There was a guy who came onto my my Facebook. Let's actually find the post. He asked me whether, what is the cutoff? It was a very basic question, like what's the cutoff date? What's the cutoff age for all of this stuff? When do you feel it's done? There's my time, and that's it.
But you can't keep transitioning forever, bro. Like, there's a certain age that you must clock where you must calm down, bro. If you're you must really calm down, because if your core following, like you say, and you keep growing with them, right? Sharp, they move from 20-year-olds to being 30-year-olds. Sharp, you're moving with them. Now you're talking about life, the more serious things. Sharp, 40 now. Now you can rebrand and say maybe jazz 2%, say R&B 2%, the more calm stuff, right? Now again, when they are 50, you want to still woman.
Bro, no, that's not fair. That's not fair.
You see what I mean? That's what I'm saying.
That's not fair that you're saying that they calm down as they go along. Bro, there's people in their 40s and their 50s that vibe out. They want a turn up. You don't have to go that way. There's people who are going in their 40s and their 50s. They listen to Kendrick happily.
You at 40. Exactly. Kendrick is not 40.
But that's fine. He's still appealing to cats there.
Mate, if you are 40 years old, you can't be singing about lean and turn up, though. Come on.
No, that's fine, but you can bring it in.
How do you feel waking up every morning, you, Silas, at 45? How do you feel every morning waking up, you? Wearing skinny jeans and Jordans. Come on, dog.
No, you don't have to. But what I'm saying is, you don't have to be a deep part of it. You don't have to be the guy who's rocking the.
Silas, you're lying, dog.
No, dude. No. I'm not. You don't have to. I'm not talking about artists. I'm talking about consumers. I'm talking about the consumer.
Okay. I'm talking about artists. Okay, let's talk about artists.
Okay, fine. You're talking about the artists. 45. Yes. Okay.
Are you telling me you're gonna still be waking up and talking about music and turn up to make music?
But you don't have to.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. When you get to that,
you don't have to become jazz.
46.
But you don't have to become jazz and slow down. You don't have to do that either.
Go franchise a chicken licken somewhere, man, and go sit home,
dude, no. And this is why I'm saying, when you say dropping off at 30, 35, I'm like, no, because other industries have shown you that even beyond a certain age, you can still talk about serious things in a fun way, drop messages, and do huge things. You can be 40 and do that. You can be 50 and do that. There's a small group of people. 40,
yeah.
I know now.
Listen to me. Coffee is hitting 40. Coffee is hitting 40. He's hitting 40 something.
But he's not a rapper.
So now, and he's still rocking. So now, the thing is, he's not actually singing, what. Also, if you listen to the tone of his music and how it's sounding, it's not as... Fader, he'll play like the club stuff because he's DJing in the club. That's him playing it. Yeah. But the music is making has to align with his brand. I can't be now making music about Emcimbini, Ebum Nandini, mate, I'm almost 50 years old. I cannot do that.
I agree.
I cannot do that. You understand?
I agree with that.
That's what I'm saying. He doesn't have to now rock to jazz or whatever, but obviously your music must align.
It will mature with you. Look at Jay-Z.
Yeah.
Jay-Z. I hate this example because Jay-Z is an anomaly. But it's a great example to show you that he can still jump on a beat that doesn't have to sound, the beat doesn't have to sound mature, but in the beat, he can still tell you exactly how to run your business.
Yeah.
I was sitting with a friend of mine who's also the exact same age as me. And he dropped gems in the track. And we sat there and we're like, but he's like, should he really be talking about that stuff on this kind of a song? For us, it made so much sense because that's what we're going through in life at the moment.
That's what you're going through, yeah.
But then for someone else, maybe 10 years younger, they'll listen to it and be like, I'm sure what he's saying is, they'll know it word for word. I'm sure what he's saying is very smart, but I relate to it on another level type of situation. So it doesn't have to be a case of you conforming to sounding mature or older. J. Cole's another example where he's a younger version doing the same thing, where he has
but he's very
deep. He's got deep messages. In a lot of his music, there is a deep message. This is Cole. You can see it, just him. You just look at him. Cole's a thinker.
Yeah, looking at him, yeah.
But you see the stuff that he jumps on, and you see the way he raps, and you see the people that he then is able to associate with and connect to. He's doing it on a huge scale, from the young all the way to the old. So I don't believe that there's a point where I'm going to be like, yay, don't do that. Jay-Z, you can't be rocking the skinny jeans. What are you doing? It becomes problematic because it's not making sense with the brand and I'm not doing it. Therefore, I'm not going to associate with you. But there are elements that I can pull out and be like, hey, I'm getting on in my years, but I can relate to what's happening. And we need to, someone needs to make music for they need to make rap music for the 38-year-old civil engineer. Who's talking to them in South Africa? Who's talking to them? Who's talking to the doctor who is 40 years old and loves hip hop? Who's talking to them in this country? I'll wait. There's a huge market there. And it's people like me, us essential service workers.
Let me reply.
Who's talking to us?
Let me reply. Listen now. You're making a good point. You're making a fantastic point. But I love what you said there when you said Jay-Z is talking to stuff you can relate to, right?
Yeah.
As you get older, there's nothing wrong with you keeping on. You know what I mean? I mean, if that's what you want to do, go for it. But like you're saying, even if it's on younger sounding beats or the new age trap beats or whatever, he's still keeping his sound. You know what I mean? So he can't now say just because I'm on a trap beat, I was now, trap out beats and next in my cup, dot. He doesn't do that. So what I'm saying is, as you get older, either adjust your sound or make it appealing to the people who you most likely think will enjoy it, like your 40-year-old engineers and doctors and civil engineers, right? But you can't keep going until mate. Okay, maybe that's just how I feel about it personally. Yeah. But as me, I don't want to wake up at 50 and still be going to studios, bro. I don't want to do that. I'm going to be on a golf course somewhere, you understand?
That's not how life works.
No, bro.
That's not how life works, bro. It might be your thing.
Even if I do, it won't be as frequent. That's why I mentioned the thing of being selective with your drops. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Because Jay-Z doesn't drop all the time.
Yes.
But when he does, he's going to spit stuff that aligns with him and his brand, and then B, school you like you're saying.
Yes.
So,
but he's also an anomaly. Jay-Z is also an anomaly that Jay-Z can do that. Jay-Z, Adele, Eminem, they can drop out for long periods and come back in. But if I am that person and that's my job, all I want to do is to appeal to other people they are fathers, they have families, they want to, I might need to be in studio each week. I might need to drop a track every single month. I mean, that might just need to become part of my situation. And I can carve out a niche there. There's no one doing it. Who's doing it?
The game needs young blood, bro.
The young blood can do what they need to do.
The game needs you to be hot, bro. You need to be ready to rock. Like, you need to be...
What does that even mean? What are you saying?
You need to be ready to rock. You need to be on the ball.
What does that mean?
Silas. No, man.
I feel like you have a problem with old rappers. You have a problem with old rappers.
There are space, dog. Like, make space. Like,
what do you mean there is space? Carve a niche is what I have to say in response to that. Don't ask for space. Carve a niche. Carve out a niche. Make your own space and earn your money there. My friend, all you need to do is if all you want to do is create something and earn money, you can do something and get your 15K a month and walk away. As a person in your 45, 50, if your music career is still pumping out an extra 20 to 30K in a month, you are good. You don't need to be in the club. You don't need to be talking to the next promoter trying to get your next gig on. You work on your niche and you're done. I don't have to wait for Ricky Rick to put me on. What?
This is the first time we're going to agree to disagree. Episode 6.
Episode 6.
Agree?
It's going to
agree to disagree.
It's going to come up again, though. I promise you.
Let's agree to disagree, mate. Me, I love you. True. I respect you as my homie.
Yeah.
We're leaving the episode.
Nah,
you are wrong, and I'm going to respect you for being wrong.
Okay. No, it's good. I want to see the polarization because this is good. I want to see polarization in the comments. I'm waiting.
Yeah, let's make it a poll. Do you guys believe that there is a cut-off age for the industry? Comment below. Just like that. Episode 6.
Oh, man.
Oh, this was dope, bro. This was really dope. Yo, we need to get these things on platforms, man. People are crying. Wait. We need to end the episode so we can have our own conversation. Yo, episode 6. Shout out for tuning in. See you guys next time. Away. Cool.